Good morning, Lionhearts. It's your old pal Jordan the Lion. How are you all doing today? I hope you said well. I hope that this new year is treating you well, and today I'm coming to you from Arizona once again. Today we're going to take a little field trip to Tempe, Arizona. We're going to go to Green Acres Cemetery. Now I've been there once before. The wrestler Eddie Guerrero is buried there, and we'll probably go visit him while we're there. But when I was a kid, my dad passed away when I was 8 years old, and part of my inheritance was that I got his bed. He had like this really nice, luxurious water bed, and so I inherited the bed, and I immediately developed a fear of sleeping when I got that bed. I could not sleep. We had just moved houses too, so I think that might have had something to do with it, but every time I would turn the lights off and try and go to sleep, I would have a nightmare that my dad was laying there dead next to me in the bed. Like, I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would feel like I could see him sitting right there. So I always had to sleep with the TV on from then on. And summers, when I didn't have an assigned bedtime, I would kind of stay up all night because I would then have insomnia. So I would stay up till 2, 3 in the morning, and most of that time I would kill by watching Nick at Night, or I got really into watching infomercials. And I remember at the time the big ones were Tony Little and a man named Don LAPRE. Don LAPRE was just this instantly likable guy who was telling you his story of living in a one-bedroom apartment and how he had created a way of placing ads and being his own business, being an entrepreneur, starting his own business, and he was selling a method to teach you how you could do it too. And he even offered a 30-day money-back guarantee. So I would watch those, and I was 11 years old. I had no ambitions of starting my own business, starting 900 numbers or placing ads anywhere, but something about this guy was just really instantly likable. He was just so positive. He just kind of gave you confidence and made you think that you could do things. So recently I was just thinking, hey, what the heck happened to Don LAPRE? And I was saddened to find out that he had passed away about 10 years ago. And I was really sad to find out why. So today we're going to go visit his grave, talk about who he was, what happened to him, and just go visit, pay a little bit of respect to a guy that kind of helped me from having nightmares when I was a kid. The king of the infomercials, Don LAPRE. And there also happens to be someone else buried there that's kind of interesting that I didn't know about until now, so we'll visit them while we're there as well. So, Daze with Jordan the Lion, it begins right now. But before we do anything, we got to take this guy out for some exercise. Look at that shadow bouncing. Nice little neighborhood waterfall in front of these people's house. Nice little neighborhood we're hanging out in here. Yep, I'm still missing Christmas. Now that cactus is looking pretty classic, isn't it? I do enjoy driving the back roads of Arizona. This guy's got a General Lee pickup truck. Well, I thought this was Tempe, but I just passed a sign that said Scottsdale, so I guess maybe this is Scottsdale. Sorry about that. Yeah, on the map it sure looked like Tempe to me, but I guess, you know, the sign for Scottsdale welcoming you being right directly in front of the cemetery is a pretty good sign that it's Scottsdale. So here we are, Green Acres Cemetery. I guess Green Acres is the place to be here. This truly is a very nice, beautiful cemetery, and it's not too big, so you can kind of find people. It splits right here, but it basically just goes around and they meet up all the way around in a circle, so you can take either way. But I was surprised to see that Don LAPRE was buried out here very, very close to where Eddie Guerrero was, where I was the last time I was here. In fact, I walked right past his grave the last time and didn't even notice. Didn't even know I was there. Honestly, I didn't even know he had passed at the time. So we're gonna go back here to where the museum mausoleum is. See a big white building back here. So once you get back here to the National Heritage Mausoleum Library Museum, immediately turn to your right and you're gonna walk towards, there's a couple of pairs of benches. And his is of the set of two, the one in the back over here. May 19th, 1964 to October 2nd, 2011. Beloved husband, father, and son. Then here on top, they've memorialized him in photos of his family and happy times. I would assume that's his wife, Sally. Then here, forever in our hearts. Those must be his children. And then it says, "Don't grieve for me, for now I'm free. I'm following the path God has laid, you see. I took his hand when I heard him call. I turned my back and left it all. Be not burdened with times of sorrow. I wish you the sunshine of tomorrow. My life's been full, I savored much. Good friends, good times, a loved one's touch. Perhaps my time seemed all too brief. Don't lengthen it now with undue grief. Lift up your hearts in peace to thee. God wanted me now, he set me free." So, yeah, as we know, Don was famous marketing pitchman for infomercials, or at least that's how I knew him. He was a college, or a high school dropout actually, and was married shortly out of high school, after leaving high school, and created a business with his wife where they were able to make a booklet that taught people how to get a refund after paying off their mortgage, and ended up parlaying that into a business that we would all kind of see in the infomercials, where he would teach you how to place ads all over the country and that you could make pretty healthy income without really leaving your home, and that you too could achieve all the wealth and all the dreams that he had. Now, I understand that he was basically selling a system that taught you how to do this, and it was a 30-day money-back system, and he did, apparently, from what I understand, if people wanted their money back, they got it. But I think he was accused of defrauding people, because it was one of those systems where they taught you how to do a system, but then you also had to invest more and more money to get the system going, and just kind of treated as though it was, you know, fraud. Not that particular business, but over time, that's what he would eventually be charged with. Because he also had another business where he, you could set up a little display in a mall and teach people how to sell products in a mall. Then, and he had celebrity endorsees. He had like Alan Thicke in some of them. At the time, my boss's wife, because I worked at Jerry's Deli, Cindy Margolis, was in some of those infomercials. And then he did a great vitamin, this like greatest vitamin in the world type thing. And just over all those, he was charged with bilking over 200,000 people out of $52 million. And what's weird is I found a little YouTube channel of one of his former employees, and the guy doesn't really take a stance on whether any of it was a scam or anything, but he just says, "I'm here if anybody wants to talk about what happened to them. You know, I'm not going to take a I'll answer you as honestly as I can, is basically what he says. And he says, I will just say this, that for as many people as Don was accused of, you know, stealing money from, he said, I've heard from very few, and I've put myself out there. So he said, he said, I don't want to speak for everyone, but you know, if you want to talk, I'm here to tell you anything that I can. And didn't see a whole lot of follow-up from that. So what ended up happening was Don passed away in 2011, October 2nd. I guess he was under investigation and then was failed to appear in court and was kind of on the run. So they came, not on the run, but he was living at his fitness center and for a couple of days. And apparently someone noticed that he had like stab wounds on his legs, which looked like he was trying to cut his arteries. And he ended up going to jail, and he was supposed to start trial October 4th. And he ended up somehow with a razor blade in his cell and took the blade to his throat and ended his own life 2 days before he was supposed to go to court. So sad that someone felt that that was their way out, or that they would be happier that way, especially when you notice that he had a nice, beautiful family. And everything I could read, they said he was just the nicest father, the most loving husband. He was just one of those guys that just, the way I kind of interpret it is the guy that you saw in the infomercials seemed like he was the guy that they lived with. So I don't know. To me, like I said, I remembered him kind of keeping me company when I was younger, afraid to go to sleep, and just always had a real nice, motivating attitude. And I'm sorry if, you know, people were, or if they felt like they were swindled out of their hard-earned money. That's never cool and that's never fair. But, you know, gosh, in business, when you try and do anything in business, there's always a risk. And yeah, you see that Don wasn't even out of his 40s when he ended his life. So apparently what Don was charged with was 41 counts of conspiracy, mail fraud, wire fraud, promotional money laundering, and transactional money laundering. He'd also been accused of selling promotional schemes to people. And then I was also able to find where apparently he was accused also, or had problems with the Food and Drug Administration when he was doing the greatest vitamin in the world. They had warned him about his claims that the vitamins were marked as a drug for diseases such as diabetes, stroke, heart disease, insomnia, cancer, and arthritis. And the FDA had said your products are not generally recognized as safe and effective for the above referenced conditions. And yet he continued to claim it. So sounds like he had, sadly, probably had some warnings along the way and just got probably in over his head. But rest in peace, Don LAPRE. Hope you're at peace now. Now from where we're standing at Don's grave, we're going to go over here to this section and we're going to walk through there, and I'm going to show you some interesting cremation plaques there. So we're going to walk through this, which I love this section of the cemetery. It's just so serene and peaceful and beautiful. We're going to take it all the way back to where it ends back there. There's a pretty good plaque of George Washington back there too. We'll check out, but who we're looking for is right over here. So from the Washington memorial plaque right here. We'll now walk right around this little thing to that. So if you come here, you can find it a little easier. Some of them in cemeteries can be very difficult, so. And who we're looking for is right here. Emil Kranzler. I'm off to see the wizard. Next to him, Marcella May Kranzler. Somewhere over the rainbow. They were Munchkins in The Wizard of Oz. Kind of a cool little thing to be remembered for. And then right next to him, I don't know who this is, but it says the Butterfly Lady. Now we're gonna head back the way we came, all the way through this, back to the street, and then we're gonna walk across. I just noticed I said across with like a T. That's the Ohio coming out in me. There's no T in across. Oh, I've never seen this before. Statue of Liberty. Wow, that's interesting. Somebody's headstone is cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. Huh. Very neat. All right. I'm showing the walk because I know a lot of people like the cemetery vlogs and they like to feel like they're there too, so this helps. So now we're gonna go directly across this road and visit Eddie Guerrero, the wrestler. So right out here and directly across, look for there'll be a statue of like two people with a little kid reading a book as you make your way over here. Now you can see this giant tree in the center. That's where the statue of the people are that I mentioned. The little family. So that's one of your landmarks to find Eddie. It's like 3 generations of family. Grandpa, dad, and the daughter reading a book. And then Eddie, you'll see this mausoleum over here. He's right over here on the ground. With lots and lots of stuff on there. Oh, did you notice what I noticed? This is actually one of my most popular videos, so I see a lot of comments on Eddie, and one of the comments always is, why is Vicky on the headstone? If you remember last time I was here, there was a picture of Eddie, a picture of his wife Vicky, and had her birth date, and then no death date because she's still alive. She was remarried recently. It says, Daddy, you are the champion of our hearts, always and forever. Your memories will never be forgotten. Matthew 25:21. Well done, good and faithful servant. Guy was a fantastic, electrifying, entertaining wrestler, and sadly kind of in his prime, passed away in his hotel room while on the road working. Rest in peace. Thanks for all the great years of entertainment, Eddie. That's really cool. I wonder if his family did that. Left the championship belt there for him. Very cool gesture. As I was about to walk away, I noticed somebody left a little luchador wrestler down here. Well, my friends, we're gonna call it a day. I want to thank Christina Favero for becoming my newest Patreon. Hope you enjoyed this vlog. If nothing else, you know, I know some people, like I said, Don LAPRE, they had accused him of milking them out of money. I'm sorry for anyone that may be watching this that happened to. I'm just kind of nostalgically wanting to pay tribute for kind of what he did on the infomercials and stuff. So hope everyone enjoyed this vlog. Thank you all for watching. Kind of glad that we walked over and visited Eddie, because I would have never known that they had changed his headstone otherwise. And nice to visit a couple of the Wizard of Oz Munchkins. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time from Scottsdale, Arizona, not Tempe. Have a great night and goodbye.